From this vantage point, it appears almost tranquil, an exquisite, spiraling pattern of cloud and storm stretching across the face of the earth. Its eye gazes calmly from the center, a silent sentinel amidst the swirling chaos. But this gentle facade belies a force of unimaginable power. For below, winds howl at over 100 miles per hour, and waves crash violently against everything in their path. This is a hurricane, a natural marvel and a formidable destroyer. Their beauty is undeniable, but their fury is unmatched. Hurricanes, also known as typhoons or cyclones, depending on where they form, are among nature's most powerful and enigmatic creations. Throughout history, they have reshaped coastlines, toppled cities, and altered the course of human lives. But how do these monstrous storms come to be? And what secrets do they hold in their winds and waves? The birth of a beast, formation and anatomy of hurricanes. It begins almost innocuously, a cluster of unassuming thunderstorms drifting off the coast of West Africa. Alone, they are harmless, but as these clouds venture westward over the open ocean, they encounter a reservoir of energy, the warm tropical waters, like fuel awaiting a spark. As moist air rises, it cools and condenses, releasing latent heat, the lifeblood of the storm. This heat drives the air to rise even faster, lowering pressure at the surface and drawing in more warm air from the surrounding sea. With each turn, the storm grows stronger, feeding on the ocean's warmth. And here, the Earth itself steps in. The Coriolis effect, a subtle but powerful force, begins to spin the storm. It's this interplay of heat and rotation that sculpts a hurricane's iconic shape, guiding its path across the ocean. At its center lies the eye, a deceptive calm surrounded by towering clouds. This is the storm's beating heart, where the winds fall silent, and the sky above may even clear. But just beyond, the eye wall, like a fortress of cloud, contains the storm's greatest fury, where winds reach their peak and rains fall in torrents. Yet hurricanes are not static. Their anatomy can change in an instant, like a beast shedding its skin. A hurricane may undergo an eye wall replacement cycle. The inner ring of ferocious winds collapses, only to be replaced by a new, larger one, making the storm even more unpredictable and often more dangerous. But as a storm grows, so too does its potential for destruction. And when it makes landfall, the true extent of its power is unleashed. The wrath of nature, deadliest hurricanes in history. Throughout history, these storms have left an indelible mark on the world, monuments to the power of wind and water. They are not just meteorological events, but cataclysms that shape human destinies. The Galveston hurricane struck without warning. It was the deadliest natural disaster in American history, a wall of water surging over the unsuspecting city. By the time the waters receded, over 8,000 souls were lost, a tragedy that could have been averted if only the warning signs had been heeded. Nearly a century later, Hurricane Andrew would ravage Florida's coast, its 165-mile-per-hour winds flattening entire communities. But from this devastation came a turning point: new building codes, reinforced homes, and a resolve to never again be caught unprepared. Half a world away, Super Typhoon Haiyan tore through the Philippines, its winds among the strongest ever recorded at landfall. It was a harbinger of what may come, a storm intensified by warming seas, leaving a trail of heartbreak and shattered lives in its wake. The unseen forces, understanding hurricane dynamics. Behind every hurricane lies a complex web of forces, balancing on the edge of chaos. Ocean heat is its lifeblood, a source of energy that can turn a mild storm into a monster. But not all storms reach their full potential. High-altitude winds, known as vertical wind shear, can slice through a developing cyclone, tearing it apart before it matures. Like a predator stalking its prey, these winds can stop a storm dead in its tracks, or let it grow unchallenged. But as our world changes, so too does the balance of these forces, shifting in ways we are only beginning to understand. And it is this shift that could shape the hurricanes of tomorrow. The fingerprints of climate change. Our planet is warming, and with it, the very essence of hurricanes is being transformed. What was once a rare, catastrophic event is now becoming a more frequent and more powerful menace. These storms are fueled by the heat of the ocean, and as our seas warm, they provide more energy, more moisture, more fury. Since 1980, the frequency of major hurricanes, those in the most devastating categories, has nearly doubled. And as the oceans continue to warm, we're seeing storms that are bigger, stronger, and slower. Hurricane Harvey stalled over Texas for days, dumping more than 60 inches of rain, an event deemed almost impossible just a few decades ago. And Harvey is not alone. Storms are moving more slowly, lingering longer over land, unleashing catastrophic floods in their wake. As the climate changes, hurricanes are defying expectations, exhibiting behavior we have never seen before. In the Atlantic, these tempests are forming farther north, threatening regions unaccustomed to their wrath. And in the Pacific, typhoons are now striking with unprecedented ferocity. The risk of hypercanes. Some scientists warn that if ocean temperatures continue to rise, we may see the emergence of hypercaned conditions, storms of unimaginable strength, with winds exceeding 300 miles per hour. Such a storm could fundamentally reshape entire coastlines and devastate anything in its path. We stand on the precipice of a new era, an era in which the hurricanes of tomorrow may be unlike anything we've ever witnessed. But as our world changes, so too does our ability to understand and confront these mighty storms through the relentless pursuit of knowledge and innovation. Human ingenuity versus nature's fury, technological frontiers in hurricane research. To truly understand a hurricane, one must confront it head-on. Brave men and women venture into the belly of the beast, risking life and limb to capture the data that could one day save countless lives. These are the hurricane hunters, pilots, and meteorologists who fly directly into the eye of the storm. Their missions are not just acts of daring, but of necessity. For in these chaotic, churning winds, they gather vital clues, measurements of wind speed, temperature, and pressure that help unravel the mysteries of these tempests. The scene shifts to show new technologies. Drones soaring through the lower levels of the storm and advanced sea gliders tracking the storm's movements below the waves. In recent years, a new generation of explorers has joined the fight. Drones and sea gliders, designed to venture where no human can. These autonomous scouts fly into the fiercest winds and dive into the storm-driven waves, sending back real-time data from the heart of the tempest. Yet the storm is a puzzle still unsolved. New technologies like AI and machine learning are being deployed to decipher the complex interactions of wind and water. These tools can analyze billions of data points, identifying patterns invisible to the human eye, patterns that could one day enable us to predict not just where a storm will go, but how it will grow. But even as we push the boundaries of science, there are still limits to what we can foresee, as our next story will show. For in the end, the true face of the storm is revealed not in the laboratory, but in the lives of those who must endure it. Hurricanes are a part of our world, forces of nature that have shaped our planet for millions of years. But now, as our world warms, they are changing, growing stronger, more erratic, and more dangerous. Yet with knowledge comes power, the power to predict, to prepare, and perhaps to protect ourselves from the storms of tomorrow. These tempests will continue to come, but armed with understanding and united by resilience, we can choose not to fear the storm, but to face it and emerge stronger on the other side. Every storm has a beginning, but it's up to us to shape the ending. We've witnessed the sheer, untamed power of hurricanes, forces that shape not only our coastlines but the very fabric of our world. To understand them is not to conquer them, but to respect the delicate balance that sustains all life on Earth. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share. It means a lot for us. Visit our channel for more videos about the mysteries of our great planet. We will meet there.